Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hopping straight into this video, no intro, no nothing, we're going to go ahead and talk about this new Call of Duty 2v2 alpha mode. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my first impression and review so far of this game mode. What do I think about it? Will I play it a lot when the game comes out? What are my favorite guns? How does the game play? All that good stuff we are going to talk about in this video. If you are new around here and you do enjoy this video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any more future Call of Duty Modern Warfare content. I promise you guys, I'm going to go ham when the beta and the full game comes out. I already have the game pre-ordered, and after playing this alpha, all I'm going to say is I am so excited. Hopefully you guys are excited too. And yeah, let's get on with today's video. Hopping straight into it, we're going to go ahead and talk about the alpha. Obviously, this is what you guys are here to see, or what you guys are here to hear about. What do I think about the alpha so far? Again, it's an alpha, and yes, I will be repeating that word 1,000 times just to get the point across. This game is, the alpha version, so there are a couple bugs. For example, there are some sound glitches that I've come across. Sometimes you reload the weapon and it sounds like there's an echo, and the weapon is reloading itself like 10 times, and it's kind of annoying. But again, you can't be beggars and choosers or whatever. Again, it's the alpha mode of the 2v2. Also, I've been hearing a lot from people that actually have played the full game, like the multiplayer, like the YouTubers that got flown out to go ahead and play it, that don't base all of your opinions and thoughts alone off of this 2v2 game mode, because it plays completely different from the actual rest of the game, like TDM and all that good stuff. So I mean, even though I do like this, I kinda am not that big of a fan of how it can go from super slow pace firefights to incredibly fast for a couple seconds, and then to super slow again. Maybe it's because it's the alpha and maybe they don't have everything ironed out, but I am kind of getting used to it, so I don't see there being that big of an issue when the actual full game goes ahead and releases. I feel like I'm going to adapt pretty well to the full games, even though I haven't played a Call of Duty in God knows how many years. The last Call of Duty I played was Modern Warfare 3 that I personally had was Modern Warfare 3. I played a little bit of Black Ops 2, and then from there on out I haven't touched any single Call of Duty, so I'm hopping in fresh. Basically, I haven't played these games in so long, and from what I remember and from what I've heard, this doesn't really play like any other Call of Duty. Honestly, this is more tactical, which I really am enjoying, even though I'm not that big of a fan of the super slow paced game tempo, kind of. That's what I'm getting at here, but again, maybe it's only because this is the 2v2 mode, and if it is like that, then I'm absolutely fine with it. Hopefully they kind of figure it out a little bit, like the character movement speed and stuff like that, because it feels a little bit sluggish at times, and it does cause for some pretty dumb deaths in my opinion. Now let's go ahead and talk about the weapons in this game, and oh my god, the way these weapons feel is incredibly refreshing. Coming from strictly Battlefield for the last couple of years, in Battlefield you have to have very good aim because the weapons have a lot of recoil. You're shooting in very far distances, sometimes close, and most of the time medium distance firefights. This game, some of the weapons, for example, the one you can see on screen right now, the M4A1, it's like the kick on this gun, it's like I was not expecting it to be so uncontrollable. Maybe it's because it's the alpha. I was going into this being like, oh okay, these weapons now have a very visible recoil. Maybe since I have a lot of experience playing Battlefield in the past, where most of the guns have a recoil curve that you have to go ahead and kind of not master, but get down right so that you're able to use the weapon more accurately and correctly. I was like, okay, I have that previous knowledge, maybe it's not going to be so difficult. But man, oh man, was I wrong. Out of all the weapons that I used, for example, the M4, what is this? I don't even remember the name. It's 2 in the morning, my bad. The M4A1 was easily and by far the most hard weapon to go ahead and control. My favorite weapon out of the bunch that I used was definitely the M13 with the, I think it was an ACOG scope and a suppressor. That thing was beautiful accuracy. It felt like a laser. It's so smooth to go ahead and use. I also used the AK, I think it was 74. I was only able to use it twice. I don't know why I didn't get it more than twice. Kind of unfortunate. I also used the MP5. That was also a very, very nice gun. Kind of, you know, again, a very super close quarter weapon, and you have to kind of master that recoil, because these guns, you know, do kick quite a lot. Even if you have played past Battlefield or any other games like that, you're going to have to, you know, learn the recoil patterns for these guns. And, you know, nothing wrong with that. I kind of like that. More realism and more, you know, skill basically is what I'm trying to get at here. I was able to use the MP7, the MP5, the M13, which was by far my favorite gun. We were using a sniper in some of the rounds. I don't think there is some gameplay of that here. My bad. I do apologize for that. But I was able to use a sniper twice. I didn't realize it was a sniper. I thought it was a semi-auto, and I was horrible with it. I didn't really like it. I've never really liked sniping in Call of Duty games because the maps aren't, in my opinion, big enough to snipe. You know, there's a lot of people that are amazing with sniping in Call of Duties. You know, the 360s, no scopes, and all that good stuff. I'm not that type of player. You know, I love, you know, well, I can't say realistic because Battlefield 5 really, or any other Battlefield, isn't that realistic. But I do enjoy the sniping in those games 1,000 times more than I do in Call of Duties. So that is something that I probably won't indulge too much into, is the sniping in this game. But yeah, they're there. I'll probably give them a go whenever the game comes out. Also, something that I did not enjoy, or a category of weapon that I did not enjoy, was the shotguns. I think it was the 7.52, which was like the one that I got the most. Very annoying. I felt like 90% of the times they decided that they didn't want to kill the enemy, and then the other 10% of the time they would one-shot the enemy. I was even in super close quarter situations shooting at the enemy. He would only get, you know, I would only get a hit marker. And then sometimes I would get the straight on kill even though they weren't damaged or anything. So that was pretty frustrating. There was also another shotgun with a scope on it. I don't remember the name of it. I think it was the same one that I just said previously. I'm kind of more of a fan of that, the shotgun with the scope on it. I feel like you can be a little bit more, you know, tactical with that. You can, you know, stand a little bit further, cause a little bit more damage and confusion to the opponent. They won't really know where you're shooting from, instead of, you know, running up to them and just blasting them in the chest or in the back. Even though that is kind of fun sometimes, I just rather, you know, damage them from afar, then pull out my secondary and kill them like that, instead of, you know, running up and getting a hit marker and then getting killed, which is very, very annoying, and it happened quite a lot. Well, another gun that I didn't mention was the L8 A62, I think that is the correct name, probably. I think you're looking at it on screen right now. That was also another really good gun that I used with the iron sight and with the scope that it came with. It was a pretty fun, accurate weapon. I think that is going to be one of my favorite guns when the game does come out. Also, another weapon that I was really looking forward to using was the AUG, the assault rifle version and the SMG version. There was two versions. One of them was a secondary, one of them was a primary. I loved both of them. The gun feels amazing. I cannot wait. I think honestly that is going to be my most used weapon in this year's Call of Duty. Honestly, I just cannot wait. But now moving on into the secondaries, there wasn't anything really to talk about here, or anything to shout about and be too excited. We were able to use a couple of them. I saw a streamer, he had the Glock 18, the G18, or I think that's what it was. I'm not too sure. It looked like it was a fully auto secondary. I never got it, so I can't really talk too much about it because it never came in the rotation for me. So, you know, I can't really say much about it, but it looked pretty nice. The secondaries that I did use were mainly the Deagle and then the other secondary sidearm. I don't remember the name. The Deagle is kind of a hit or miss for me, honestly. I've never really liked the Deagle in any game, any shooter game, honestly. I just don't like how slow it is. I know it does a lot of damage, especially if you get your shots on target. You're going to be able to kill someone in either one shot, two shots. I just didn't like the way it felt with the not the 3x scope. I'm thinking about Battlefield here. But when it came with the scope on it, it was semi-useful, like you saw at the beginning of this video or the last video, I think. I kind of liked it more like that. So if I ever run the Eagle, it's probably going to be with the scope. And yeah. The final thing I want to talk about are the maps. We had 3 maps. We had King, I think was the name of one of them, Pine, and Ballpoint or Speedball, I think is the name of the map that you're currently looking at on screen. Personally, Pine was my favorite, even though I did have some gripes with it. Some people were camping under the container in the middle. That was very, very frustrating. They would go prone under it, you know, Call of Duty stuff. People are always going to camp. But yeah, Pine was definitely my favorite. Apparently there are going to be, I think it's either 5 or 9 2v2 game mode maps in total. I am not quite sure. I heard both numbers. Maybe they're even speculating that tomorrow being Friday, or today basically being Friday, the day I'm recording this, we might actually get a couple more maps to go ahead and test out on this alpha. And if there are more maps to test out, I will completely 100% make videos on them, because I have a feeling, you know, that playing the same 3 maps for like 4 days might get a little bit repetitive and boring. This game mode honestly is something that I will play. I don't want to say a lot, but I definitely will play and make videos on it. I just feel like I might get a little bit burnt out on this game mode, you know, if they don't really introduce more maps, just like Battlefield basically. Guys, that's kind of everything I wanted to talk about. The game feels alright for an alpha. There are some bugs that I hope they iron out. One that I didn't mention is the audio. Sometimes you cannot hear enemy footsteps, even if you have the master game volume all the way up and your headphone volume all the way up on your controller. You could still barely hear enemy footsteps. The guns sound absolutely beautiful, honestly. Best sounding guns that I've heard in a while in a video game. And yeah, that just makes me even more excited for the beta to go ahead and release on September 12th. If you have the game pre-ordered, make sure that you have the game pre-ordered if you want to have access to the September 12th beta. But yeah, the alpha is out. We got it a day earlier than everyone expected for some reason. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, make sure to go ahead and download it. It's only for PS4, unfortunately. No, you do not have to have the game pre-ordered to play that 2v2 alpha, and no, you do not have to have PlayStation Plus to be able to play this. It's completely free for everyone on PS4, remember that. But yeah, guys, make sure to go ahead and tell me in the comment section down below if you've played the 2v2 alpha, what you think so far. Are you looking forward to this new Call of Duty? I certainly am. And yeah, just make sure to go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are about this video. Also remember, these are my opinions, so if you don't agree with something, make sure to go ahead and tell me in the comment section down below. But remember, be civilized, because my last couple videos haven't, you know, some of the comments haven't been the best, or you know, people have just disagreed with me, but that's absolutely fine. No one has been rude, and let's just keep it that way. So yeah. And that's where I'm going to end this, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you are new around here and you did enjoy this video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, leave a comment telling me what you think, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, what do you think about 2v2, what do you think about Call of Duty Modern Warfare in general, and also make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are, I think, a little bit over 60 people away from 3,000 subscribers. That is absolutely crazy. And yeah, thank you guys so much for that. I didn't want this to be a super long video, but basically 13 minutes, it's gonna have to do. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. Peace out.